Hello, my friends, and welcome to Yoga by the Moon. My name is Michelle, and I'm here to guide you through a full moon practice for the full moon for August 28th of 2026. Full moons are the peak of the lunar cycle. It's when the moon is at its brightest, so hidden truths are revealed to us. The pathway forward is illuminated better. Because it's at the peak, we also peak with our emotions. So emotions kind of run at a high. The full moon is just at peak energy and everything is just at its highest point during the full moon. This particular full moon happens in the sign of Pisces, which is a very deeply intuitive water sign. And so our intuitions are heightened in a full moon in Pisces. So the pathway forward with what's in alignment for us, what's really meant for us, our intuition really is able to be guided that way very easily with a full moon in Pisces. Now, Pisces, as a water sign, is also very deeply emotional. And with the emotions running high in a full moon, we also have to be aware that we are going to be extremely emotional. Our emotions are going to be very volatile in a full moon with Pisces. But what's really great about this particular full moon is we are now in Virgo season. And Virgo is a very grounded, hardworking, organized earth sign. And so what Virgo brings out for us in the midst of all this emotional chaos is it allows us to organize our thoughts. We can declutter our mind so that we can really create emotional organization and ground ourselves in reality so that we're tethered to where we need to be and we don't lose sight of the pathway forward by getting so caught up in our emotions. Virgo allows that intuition of Pisces to be guided forward by grounding us into the present moment, by organizing our thoughts and keeping us tethered to reality. So this push-pull between the earth sign and the water sign is a beautiful, beautiful harmony, and it's all beautiful energy. And it allows that deep release that the full moon really asks of us. When everything's at its peak, what we need to do is release things that aren't serving us, let go of things that are in the way of true alignment. And so we can do that deep release with this balance between Virgo and Pisces energy. To do that, we're going to begin seated on our mat with our breath work, and I will guide you through that in just a moment. Knee down in any comfortable seat, however you feel comfortable, whether you want one foot in front of the other, whether you want to sit half lotus, full lotus, just cross-legged, whatever feels right to you. If you want to sit up on a block or a bolster or a pillow, you can do that too. But just arrive seated in your mat. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And our breath work we're going to do for this particular full moon is Nadi Shodhana, which is alternate nostril breathing. And what this does is it clears our energy channels. It organizes our thoughts with that energy of Virgo, grounding us into the present moment. It down-regulates our nervous system so that we are calmer. It regulates those emotions that are going to be all wonky with Pisces in the full moon. And it also allows us to use Pisces energy to deeply tap into our own intuition because we're really able to ground, we're able to center ourselves using the energies of Virgo and Pisces, and we're allowed to do that deep release with this breath work. So it's perfect for the full moon in Pisces. To do this breath, it's pretty straightforward as to what it sounds like, alternate nostril breathing. You breathe in one nostril, out the other. In the one you breathed out before, out the one you breathed in before, and you keep alternating. And in order to do that, I like to do what I like to call the hang loose sign, where you have your thumb and your pinky on your right hand pointed out, and you're going to seal off the right nostril with your thumb. Inhale through the left nostril, hold it in, seal the left nostril with your pinky, release the right nostril, and breathe it out the right nostril. Inhale in the right, Hold the inhale, out the left. We're going to do 4 more rounds like that. In left, hold, out right. In right, hold, out left. 2 more. In left, hold, out right. In right, hold, out left. Now release your hand down. Return to the regular rhythm of your breathing. Roll the shoulder blades back and down so your chest is nice and lifted. If your eyes had a soft gaze or maybe even closed, you may flutter them open now and arrive in this space here with me so we can begin our movement practice. For our first movement today, we're going to stretch out our legs right in front of us. Nice and long. Have active feet. Flex through those feet. But make sure also to keep those shoulder blades pulled back and down, that chest nice and lifted. So you have a nice activation all up the back of the legs, all the way up the back of your spine. So your whole back body is engaged right now in this pose called staff pose or Dandasana. And then we're going to take 1 breath in as we reach our arms up overhead. And then on an exhale, gently hinge at your lower back and just let your arms fall wherever they naturally fall while keeping your chest nice and lifted and a nice long spine here. Gonna keep that chest lifted for a moment as we gently release through the back of those hamstrings in a gentle forward fold. Inhale up, exhale, pull yourself down. Inhale, halfway lift up, nice flat back. And this time, exhale, you can reach further down, round through that spine if you need to. Pull down into a nice forward fold. If you need to have a gentle bend in your knees to get that where you're not hurting your back, please do. You don't need to grab at your feet. If you're still up here, that is perfectly fine. Wherever you feel good in your body today. You don't want to pull into your hamstrings too hard. You don't want to pull muscle. We're just gently releasing. We're calling in the energy of that full moon with that release here. 1 more deep breath in. On an exhale, gently walk your hands up and rise on up, shoulders back and down. 1 breath in here in Dandasana. Then on an exhale, we're going to bend through that right knee and plant the sole of that foot right in front of us. We're going to inhale our left arm up to the sky and exhale as we bring that left arm to the outer part, at the floor of our the floor next to the outer part of our right hip. My goodness, I can't speak today. We're going to swim our right fingers back behind us like a kickstand and turn and look over the right shoulder in a half Lord of the Fishes twist. Squeezing out the things that are no longer serving us, releasing things that are blocking our pathway. 1 more breath in. Exhale, unwind and come back to center, straightening out that right leg. Inhale here in Dandasana. Exhale, bend that left knee now and plant the left sole of your foot on the floor in front of you. Inhale your right arm to the sky. Exhale, bring right hand to the outer part of your left hip, swimming those left fingers back behind you like a kickstand, and turning around, looking over that left shoulder. Half Lord of the Fishes twist in the other direction. Once again, wringing out the body of the things that don't serve us, allowing that clearing energy of Virgo to organize our bodies and our minds and connect us to the earth and ground us. One more deep breath in. On an exhale, gently unwind and bring your legs back in front of you. And now, however feels good to you or feels right to you, make your way to hands and knees position. Knees under hips, hands under shoulders, nice flat back, nice neutral neck. Tabletop position. Inhale as you pull your belly towards the floor and look up towards the ceiling. Exhale as you round that spine, vertebrae by vertebrae, lifted towards the ceiling. Take a few rounds of cat-cow in your own breath, articulating through the spine, releasing, finding points where you might be stuck, and working through those so that you feel a little bit more connected, a little bit more yourself. One more round wherever you are. And then on your next inhale, come back to a nice neutral tabletop. On an exhale, we're going to curl our toes and then lift those hips up towards the sky in downward facing dog. Gently walk your dog, stretching through the back of those legs once again. Once again, finding those points where you may be stuck. Have that stuck energy so we can work through it and release it. And then on your next inhale, make your way back to a neutral downward dog. Inhale, that right leg comes to the sky. Exhale as many steps as you need to get there. Bring that right foot between your hands. We're going to drop down onto that left knee and rise on up into low lunge and get your hair out of your glasses. Sorry about that. Bear with me. Now I'm going to inhale my arms up to the sky, but instead of thinking of shining my heart forward, I'm thinking of shining my third eye forward, my forehead up to the sky to reach that point of intuition so that we can really connect to our intuition here with Pisces. By raising that third eye to the sky, we're allowing the moon's energy to connect to our intuition so that we can really be guided in the path forward. One more breath here, shining that third eye forward. On an exhale, bring your hands to the mat to frame your foot, and then lift those hips up over that left knee as you straighten through that right leg, bowing over the right leg in half splits. Connecting ourselves to the earth now here with the energy of Virgo, surrendering and releasing with the power of the full moon, allowing those channels to be clear and connected. One more breath in here. On an exhale, shift back into that right foot and rise on up once again in low lunge. Raising your arms to the sky. One more breath in here in low lunge. And then curl those left toes under, and then as you're ready, lift that left knee off the mat and rise on up into high lunge. This time shining our hearts forward. Ready for the path ahead with hope, with joy, with anticipation. One more breath in here. On an exhale, bring your left hands to the mat on the inside of your right foot and raise your right arm to the sky in a high lunge twist. Once again, wringing out that stale energy. Also surrendering to the power of the full moon. Connecting ourselves to the earth with the energy of Virgo. One more breath in here. On an exhale, bring your right hand to the mat to frame your right foot, and then step your right foot back to meet the left. Shift your weight forward, bend at the elbows, chaturanga. Press on up, upward facing dog, and then hips high in downward facing dog. Take a moment to reset in your downward dog. Maybe gently pedal those heels, maybe find a moment of stillness. And then inhale that left leg to the sky. Exhale as many steps as you need to get there. Bring that left foot between your hands and drop down onto that right knee. As you rise on up, arms high in low lunge. And as I said before, we're not lifting our chest to the sky this time. We're imagining we're lifting our forehead to the sky, bringing that third eye awareness connected to the energy of the full moon, so that Pisces can guide us in our intuition and the way forward, in the path of alignment ahead. One more breath in here. On an exhale, bring your hands down to frame your left foot and shift your hips up over your right knee, straightening through your left leg as you bow down over your left leg. Half splits, surrendering and releasing with the energy of the full moon, connecting to the earth with the energy of Virgo. Surrendering to what is, so that we can move forward with what needs to be. One more breath in here. On an exhale, shift your weight back into your left foot. Rise on up, raising that third eye back to the sky so that the way forward can be illuminated with the path of intuition. Curl those right toes under, and as you're ready, lift that right knee off the mat and rise on up into high lunge. Breathe deep. One more inhale here. On an exhale, right hand comes to the inside of your left foot on the mat. Left arm comes to the sky in a high lunge twist. Releasing all the stagnant energy, clearing out blockages so that we can release with the full moon. One more breath in here. On an exhale, bring your left hand down onto the mat to frame your left foot, and this time step your right foot to meet the left in forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, slowly rise all the way up, sweeping those arms up overhead, and then hands to heart center in mountain pose. We're going to take a moment here in mountain, noticing how our feet are connected to the earth, bringing those shoulder blades back and down, lifting our chest and third eye to the sky, connecting to the energy of the full moon, while connecting to the earth with the energy of Virgo. Feeling that push-pull between the water and earth signs, feeling the groundedness of Virgo, feeling the power of the full moon. You can take another moment here in mountain pose as I talk us through our next little sequence. I'm facing you so you can see me a little better. As you're ready, we're going to shift our weight into our right foot. And now you can either just turn your left knee out to the side and have your heel on your right ankle. Maybe you want to lift that foot off the mat gently and just keep the sole of your foot connected to your right shin. Or maybe you wish to bring the sole of your left foot into connect with your right inner thigh. Wherever you are, get grounded and connected with the energy of Virgo, this ultimate earth sign posture, connecting within, organizing our thoughts, One more breath here in tree. Then on an exhale, release your left foot off your leg, but bend your knee towards your glute. And then catch the inner part of your left foot with your left hand. Then kick your left hand away with that left leg so much that you start to lean forward here in dancer pose, opening up that third eye with the energy of Pisces now, dancing with the full moon. One more breath here. On an exhale, as gracefully as you can, release that. Shake your legs out. If you fell, it's okay. Your yoga mat will catch you. It is all just a practice. It's called yoga practice, not yoga perfect. We are all here together. And we all have days where we don't have great balance, and that is fine. Whatever you are, wherever you are today is exactly where you need to be. Take a moment, recenter, and then shift your weight into that left leg. And now you can turn your right knee out to the side, to the right side, with your right heel on your left ankle. Right sole of foot on your left shin, or raise the right sole of your foot into the inner part of your left thigh. Find your version of tree. Find a focal point to keep you balanced and centered. Using that energy of Virgo once again. Connecting within to our intuition here with Pisces as well. One more deep breath in here. On an exhale, release that right sole of your foot and catch the inner part of your right foot with your right hand. As you're ready, kick your right arm away with your right leg, so much so that you start to lean forward. Dancer pose, shining our intuition point with our third eye forward here. And then as you're ready, release that. I said as you're ready because I was starting to fall out and apparently my body was ready. If you're not ready to release it, you can keep playing with dancer, or you can join me and shake it out, laugh at me. Laughing is beautiful yoga. I laugh at myself all the time. Take another breath here and connect to yourself here in mountain pose. And then inhale, sweep your arms up overhead. Exhale, swan dive all the way forward into a forward fold. But this time, cross your arms over at the elbows. Bend your knees generously and hang here in ragdoll forward fold. Maybe you wish to sway side to side or rock back and forth. Maybe you wish to just keep in stillness, but take a moment here, just grounding ourselves and releasing in ragdoll. One more deep breath in here. On an exhale, bring your hands to the floor, stepping your right foot back, followed by the left in high plank. Just one breath in here, and then on an exhale, slowly lower all the way down to the mat. Now you can cross one palm on top of the other and rest your forehead on your palms. Maybe rock your hips back and forth, side to side, releasing in that lower spine, connecting to the earth with the energy of Virgo, while massaging your third eye intuition point for Pisces. And I'm going to stay lifted so that I can talk us through the next sequence. But you take a moment in crocodile and connect as I guide you through the next posture. When I say we're going to inhale, our head, neck, and shoulders off the mat, and our arms are going to reach ahead. And then we're going to exhale as we bend our elbows back towards our spine. And then we're going to inhale, reaching forward, exhale back. And we're going to do that for a total of 4 times in a half locust variation. So when you're ready, inhale, head, neck, and shoulders off the mat, arms reach forward. Exhale, bend those elbows back. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, elbows back. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. Inhale, forward. Exhale, lower to crocodile. Take another moment, massage that third eye point. Rock those hips back and forth. Settle in. And then as you're ready, do what I like to call the yogi pancake and flip on over to your back. We're going to plant the soles of our feet on the mat, lifting our knees to the ceiling, pulling those shoulder blades back and down. Your heels can be very close to your glutes, or they can be very far out, whatever feels right for your knees and your quads. And then as you're ready, we're going to inhale as we lift our hips towards the sky and raise our arms all the way up overhead. Exhale, bring our hips and arms back down. 4 more times like that. Inhale, hips and arms up. Exhale, down. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Inhale, last one, up. Exhale, slowly lower down. Take a deep breath in, pulling those shoulder blades back and down together again if you needed to. And on an exhale, lift the soles of your feet towards the sky and grab the outer edges of your feet with your hands, using your elbows to press your shins a little further out. Here in Happy Baby. We're going to take a few moments of stillness here to allow that inner thigh release. We store so many of our emotions in our hips. So when we do this release, we're allowing those emotions to be felt through. So the energy of the full moon in Pisces really can work through and allow Virgo's energy to organize those thoughts and ground us back into reality by feeling through those. Now, as you're ready, if you wish to maybe rock back and forth, maybe kick one leg out, bring one leg in, and alternate. Find motion that feels good to you. And if that motion is stillness, you may stay there too. Just take a moment of finding that freedom of expression and release for yourself. One more breath in. On an exhale, hug those knees into your chest, nice and tight. Give yourself a good squeeze. Inhale deep, and then exhale as you lower those heels towards the bottom of your mat. Place your hands wherever feels right for you in a Shavasana. As I guide us through the meditation for this Pisces full moon. As you arrive, gently close your eyes or lower your gaze if it feels safe for you. Become aware of your breath, noticing the temperature of your breath as it enters and exits your nostrils. Maybe you notice the rising and falling of your belly. We're just trying to create some space from the day you've had and allow the breath to bring you back into this present moment. As you become a little more grounded, Gently relax your eyebrows. Bring your shoulders away from your ears. Maybe even let your belly be soft. As you continue with this breath, this nourishing breath, and as you feel a little more grounded, a little more anchored into practice, you see a path in front of you and get curious. So you begin to walk this path, and there's no fear, just curiosity. As you continue to walk this path, you see a door at the end. With that curiosity streak, you continue to the door and you open it. You take a step, and as you step down, you notice that you stepped into something soft, like sand. And it's dark, but not a scary kind of dark, a soothing kind of darkness. You make that other step into the sand and continue to walk, noticing the temperature. You can hear ocean waves in the background, and you breathe. You take some deep inhales and exhales as you walk closer to where the waves meet the sand. And as you stand there, you notice how dark it is and how you can see every single star. You can see the planets. And then you notice the moon. She's bright. She's yellow. And you begin to remember that this is the Pisces full moon, a time for release, surrender. And as you acknowledge that, you also notice that the waves are covering your feet and your ankles, and it feels soothing, relaxing. It feels as if you can release some things that have kept you stagnant or stuck. And that's exactly what you decide to do. You sit down in the sand, and now the water washes over your feet and ankles and a little bit of your upper thigh and hips. You throw your head back, and you're ready to let go under this full moon. And so you think to yourself, what's time to be released? What needs to be let go? There's no judgment as things start popping into the mind's eye. It just is. And you think to yourself, you know, as this wave washes upon me, I will let that thing leave as this wave surrenders. So the wave washes over your feet and ankles and brings that thing that you're ready to let go of. And as the waves recede, you send it off, allowing the ocean, the universe, the moon to hold it. And you do this a few times with different things or maybe the same thing, feeling the water wash over you, bringing that thing to mind and releasing it back as the waves recede. Releasing, letting go, surrendering. You bring that last thing, person, place, or situation to mind that you're ready to let go of, and release as the wave covers your feet, ankles, and hips. And then you let out a big sigh, letting it go as the waves wash away. To send gratitude to the moon, earth, the waves, the ocean, yourself, for allowing you to release those things that have kept you stagnant, and for the courage to release those things that no longer serve you. And then you gently begin to stand up, knowing it's time to go back. You take a deep breath and a big sigh out. You turn around and see that door. You walk to the door and open it. You step through and you see the same path that got you here. You begin to walk the path, and it brings you back to the space you're in now. You begin to take a few breaths, bringing awareness back into the present moment. You send yourself some gratitude for having the courage to release things and to move forward on your path. Now, gently bring movement back to your body any way that you like. As you're ready, you may press yourself up to a gentle seat. If your eyes were closed, you may gently flutter them open now and arrive back in this moment here with me. It is always my honor that you join me in my little corner of the internet here in the Yoga by the Moon community in practice. Thank you for taking the time for yourself and for taking that time with me. I can't wait to do the last quarter moon practice with you next. But in the meantime, from my heart to yours, namaste.